would you like to share about your organization and how you are serving in your organization? What is your contribution here?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm pleased to share that Danfoss has completed 90 years this year globally. And
Congratulations.
incidentally, in this year, we have also completed 25 years of operations in India.
Oh,
So I think these are the two landmarks which we have achieved this year.
great.
With respect to India, I think we started with supplying the components in the year 1998
99.
for the air conditioning and refrigeration industry.
Okay.
Our association with railways have been much before that actually.
Oh,
Even before we came to India. So the compressors for the air conditioning systems, we started supplying them almost 30 years back, and then post that we kept on supplying different components, and we have worked very closely with RDSO and the railway board also to develop the newer areas like LHB was a big development.
yeah.
So LHB, when it came to India, I think we were very much a part, closely working with RDSO.
Okay.
And then what happened is after that is the metro revolution.
Yeah.
So when the metro started with DMRC, at that time we started with our air conditioning and refrigeration controls,
Okay.
working with all the major manufacturers of the rail coach air conditioning, and again DMRC. And later on, obviously, the association went on to the different metro bodies,
Right.
and the journey is continuing.
Okay. So, are you also supplying to metro projects in India?
Yes, so first is about the air conditioning and refrigeration for the coaches.
For the
What we are also doing is with respect to the air conditioning of the metro stations.
okay.
There are many underground stations. So what we have done is we have been supplying drives, the variable frequency drives for the fans, for the fan coil units, air handling units. I think since beginning, it started with DMRC and it is continuing with all the other metros as well. Chennai Metro, and now we have many new metros like Pune, Lucknow.
Oh.
Everywhere our drives are working actually.
Oh, that's great.
In addition to that, what we have also introduced a turbo core compressor, which is already lying in the booth.
Okay.
So turbo core compressor is an oil-free compressor.
Okay.
It's a completely new revolution what we have brought into the market, and we are pleased that in the the Mumbai Metro project, there are already few stations with turbo core chillers.
Oh, you have supplied.
Yeah, so in collaboration with our OEM, we have supplied the compressors to them, and the chillers are now installed in the Mumbai Metro project.
Okay.
So,
So, do you also have any manufacturing unit here in India?
Yes, absolutely. As I said, we started in 1998. That was mostly with the import of the products. But what we did after that was we started increasing our footprint in India. And the first production started in the year 2009.
2000.
Incidentally, we started making pressure switches, and railway was our first customer for that.
Oh,
So that's how we started the journey, and we have kept on adding more and more components, and most of those components are going into the rail coach air
rail
conditioning today.
processor.
In addition to that, we also are doing the drives manufacturing, and most of these drives are also going into the similar applications at metro stations.
Alright. Since you talk about the Indian Railway alignment with your company, so can you answer that? How can the robust Indian railway industry and the urban transit system of India create its presence globally? We don't have a significant presence at the global level. So, is there any measure do you think of we can take the Indian Railway and the urban transit system at the global level?
See, I think we have already heard the gentleman from WebTech talking today. He was talking about how they are already involved, in multiple suppliers across the subcontinent, as well as in Europe and Asia Pacific as well. Similarly, if I have to talk about Danfoss, we are not only limited to supplying our controls in India. We are, contributing to our customers in terms of technology. We are also helping them, but most of these customers are concentrated in India for the Indian market.
Okay.
However, if I talk about what we are doing globally, we are also supplying to people like Alstom. We are also supplying to customers like Siemens is our customer. We have Bombardier. We are also supplying to these global players who are actually bringing the technologies from overseas to India.
Okay.
And apart from that, I would also say that if your context was like what we are doing on global scale,
Yeah.
I must tell you that this is a time where people are looking to India.
Yeah.
In today's generation of India, I must say that gone are the days where we were looking at the world and trying to copy and imitate things
Right,
from there.
right.
In today's world, everybody is looking at India.
Yeah.
If I have to talk about our recent centrally air-conditioned railway station at Visvesvaraya, Bangalore,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
powered by Danfoss Greener Solutions. And apart from that, recently I was studying an article where India has completely surpassed and outperformed US and and China for the lead zero certifications. So this is just the beginning, and the systems that we are building in India are actually going to run in the world and would be setting up example, and the benchmark for the global players.
So, Rail Analysis is committed to the development and progress of Indian economy by becoming a strong platform for knowledge, business, and exchange of ideas. So, how can events like this empower and make a difference on your organization?
Very good question. I think because I think when we are looking at these kind of events, it's a clear platform to bring all the players together.
Right.
Whether it is the big manufacturers, whether it is the MSMEs, startups, different kind of suppliers, all of them are on one platform. I think this platform
And
is
this
really
is
giving.
our main idea.
Yeah, this really gives us a good opportunity to connect with all the stakeholders. We also got to hear from the railway authorities directly. So we are very clear what are their plans in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
So everyone can really make their plans accordingly.
Yes, like you can.
So I think all this is really a great event. I think when it comes to the understanding of the market, improving our knowledge base, also connecting with all the stakeholders across the industry. So really in a platform which is really going to help the industry for sure, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So there has been a lot of talk on startups. Like India is promoting startups in India. So we have startup scheme and the many incentives for MSME as well. So how can startups in India transform the rail and metro industry and make India a strong ecosystem of supply chain?
Yeah, I think when we look at startups, how startups work, they normally look at the problems which are the local problems, and they try to address the local problems by finding out solutions locally. I think that's the beauty of the startups. In startups, also what happens is the decisions are taken much faster.
Yeah.
So I think that's the ecosystem of the startups.
Right.
And how startups are going to help is, like you take an example of the electronic side of it. The Indian electronic industry is growing a lot now. The IT industry in India is, I think, the startup ecosystem in IT is like booming completely. So if you take an example of, suppose, temperature monitoring or maybe safety monitoring, startups can do a lot in that space. We can create a lot of customized solution which can really help the industry overall. The monitoring systems, they can work very well with our products, and we can give a combined solution to the customers. So I think the startups can also work very closely with MNCs like us. Like that.
Yeah, with established MNCs. Okay, great answer. The question is, since you are a manufacturing unit, and India is also talking about a lot of green initiatives and climate change. So, what are the? Can you share some of the Go Green initiatives that your organization has adopted recently?
Yeah, thank you for bringing this point. I have a presentation today where I'll be talking about it in details. However, just to give you a crux, we are headquartered in Oragadam in Chennai.
Okay.
And if I have to talk about from the global company's perspective, Nordberg, where we are headquartered in Denmark, is called the energy efficiency capital of the world. And thanks to the efforts of Danfoss, our campus in Nordberg is already 100% carbon neutral. Same efforts we are implementing in India as well.
Yeah.
If I talk about our campus in Oragadam, Chennai, there had been already 8 green months so far where we have not used any electricity from the grid. And in our operations, because we not only perform operations in terms of making a product energy efficient, however the processes and the ways we are making that product also has to be green, then only it is 100% green in true sense. So we only take 16% of the electricity from grid, in general days, and 84% are generated from the renewable sources of on-site and off-site solar and wind energy that we
That's
have.
great, yeah.
Apart from that, we grow our own fruits and vegetables in the campus, which are being used in the cafeteria. We have a biogas plant
Really?
to take care of the wastage. All the vehicles that are running in the campus are 100% electric. We are a LEED Platinum rated building in India, and we also have recently launched a battery power bank, because on the days, Saturdays and Sundays, when the plant is not running, or on some days when the production is less, we can actually store that energy in that power bank, and you can actually use it on a day when the peak demand is
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
So there are a lot of initiatives that we are doing for ourselves as well as for our vendors to make sure, because unless and until the whole supply chain is green, we cannot call ourselves carbon neutral in true
Right,
sense.
exactly, yeah. Okay. So thank you. Any room for our improvements and
No, I think obviously I will not speak about the room for improvement, because that will always be there. But I think clearly positive points are bringing the entire industry together on one platform. I think the overall, if we look at the gambit of the suppliers here today, we see a complete mix. So it is really helping us to really understand the overall ecosystem, because today we are not only supplying the components to the air conditioning and refrigeration for the coaches. We are also doing a lot for the stations. We are also doing a lot for the we are also connected with a lot of suppliers as well, because they can also be our customers for the same products.
yeah.
So I think it really brings us a lot more opportunities than what we are actually thinking for. So we can obviously directly get connected to the end users, which is railways, but we can also get connected to the suppliers as well. So it really gives us a very good platform, and we really cherish coming here. Last time the event was in January, and it
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
big
yeah.
success, and I really wish all of you a big success today as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so
very
much
much.
for your time, sir.
Thank you.
you.